there. So finding a confidence interval for a population variance or standard deviation is very, very easy when using Statcrunch. If you go to the question help tab in my math lab and you go to view an example, these directions are good, but what they're going to do is take you through all the steps that you'd have to do to find this confidence interval totally by hand. So assuming you don't have any technology at all, because every class is different. Some classes are required to do everything by hand. We're not doing it that way. So while these directions are good, they are longer than what you need to do for this class. So to use Statcrunch for this problem where we're trying to find a 98% confidence interval for the estimate of the population standard deviation, we're going to do this. Next to the data, if we click the little box in the corner and choose Open in Statcrunch, this data is going to open up right for us in Statcrunch, which is convenient. Now if we go to Stat, Variance Stats, remember the standard deviation is just the square root of the variance. So you won't see standard deviation in here, but the standard deviation comes from the variance. So we can get it using this. And then in this case we had one sample, and we're going to choose with data because we were given raw data, not a summary of different summary statistics. So Stat, Variance Stats, one sample with data. So up at the top, we're going to select the column that had the data that we're interested in. In this case, that was easy. There's only one. If we scroll down, we want to do a confidence interval. In this case, it was a 98% confidence interval. So I'm going to change this to 0.98, and I'm going to click Compute. So what the computer has done for me here is given me the confidence interval. This is the lower limit, and this is the upper limit, but this is for the variance, sigma squared. And we were asked in this question to find the confidence interval for the standard deviation. But remember, the standard deviation is just the square root of the variance. So all we have to do to find the lower limit is take the square root of this value. All we have to do to find the upper limit is take the square root of this value. So let's do that. So I'm just going to copy the lower limit here, and I'm going to jump over to my calculator, and I'm going to say square root, and then paste in that number. Okay, so this is the square root. So 247.1084, etc. This question asked us to round to one decimal place. So what was one decimal place? So it'll be 247.1 for the lower limit, 247.1. And then for the upper limit, let's check that. We're going to copy the upper limit, and we're going to go to the calculator. Let's clear that. And I want the square root of that number. Thinking. So 703 now I'm going to have to round this up to 2 because the digit that comes after it is a 6. So that means that would round this up to a 2. 703.2. Let's put that right here, 703.2. So this should be the 98% confidence interval for the estimate of sigma, the population standard deviation. Let's check it. There we go.